Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen and friends. How are we? How are we doing? I trust we're keeping well. My name is Aiki Zigbana, your regular host on Take My Hand webinar series brought to you by Aiki's Isaac Ibana Foundation. Yes, just a quick one. Last week we looked at stigmatization. We defined stigmatization. We looked at the products of stigmatization, the causes, the types, and we also went further to compare stigmatization with discrimination. And we also looked at the effects of stigmatization and then traits of a stigmatized individual. All right, so if you missed it, please kindly go to my timeline or my wall on Facebook, or you can check Ike's Isaac Ibana Foundation on Facebook or YouTube, and then you'll find it. All right, today we are going to look at how to deal with stigmatization. All right, how to deal or how to handle stigmatization. A lot of people, when they hear stigmatization, the first thing that comes to mind, they feel it's just about one that is sick or has some mental disorder. Well, really, yeah, that's the first point of call, though. Stigmatization is often associated a lot with mental illness, mental health, or mental disorder. But that's not just it. For Let me talk to people who feel stigmatized right now. So one of the first things, or the first point I would like to give you on how to deal with stigmatization, for those of you who have perceived mental illness, I like to say try not to let the fear of you know, being labeled with a mental illness stop you from getting help. You know, people tend to label you based on what you are experiencing, which, by the way, may be temporal. You know, so uh, they label you like that, and then they avoid you. They give you space. You know, the length of an arm. They deal with you from afar. That shouldn't stop you from getting help. All right. Sometimes this goes as far as people having a gathering, gathering or a cluster, some clusters, and you could tell that that gathering is about you. They're talking about you, how your case has turned out, and then you could tell sometimes when you get closer, everyone disperses, or rather changes topic, or just make it look like they weren't referring to your issue, or that kind of thing. So that shouldn't stop you from getting help, the help you need. Reach out to people who you can trust. So that's the first thing. Number two, I like to say, do not believe what you hear or experience to be the final reality of yourself. So I see a situation whereby sometimes if you hear or experience something most often or often enough, your instinct or your mind, you just start believing that that's true, that's it about you. That's not the final reality. Most of what happens to human beings, is temporal. It's just for a time, just a time being. And then if you retain your mind not to believe every experience or everything you hear to be the final reality of you, definitely you are going to conquer stigmatization. Of course, people have labeled you in a particular way, and then you are actually experiencing what they are stigmatizing you for. That's correct. You know, uh, don't just stop there. Don't stop there, because that's not you. You know, that's not the end of you. It's not the final reality. Yes, there is a fact that something is actually wrong somewhere with you. Probably you have a mental disorder. Probably you have a sickness, an illness. body illness, you have something that, a plague that everyone is seeing. It's obvious and it's evident, and then they are using that to categorize you or stamp your personality to it. So sometimes it's even worse. Some people identify you based on what you're going through. So it's not enough for you to settle for it. What I'm saying is, do not believe, you know, everything you have heard or experienced to be your final reality. Okay. So the third thing I would like to say is that do not hide away. For most people, when this happens, they tend to go into the hiding, place. They don't want to see anyone because they believe no one wants to actually see them. So they go into the hiding place. They are, you know, they're just isolated. They're on their own. So many people will want or resort to hiding or isolation or isolating themselves from the world and die in silence. Do not die in silence. Reach out to people you trust. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be religious leaders, it could be coaches, you know, to get the help you need. Let me be frank with you guys. Sometimes, or most often, the people who even start stigmatizing you are members of one's family, members of one's family, because most times they can't handle or deal with it. Some other times, some people believe that because this is not a regular occurrence in their family line or tree, it's not a regular trend. They tend they just judged the person who is experiencing that particular probably mental illness, and then they stop there. They don't want to look for solutions because actually they haven't handled such before and may not be willing because their mind can't carry them, to do such. But I encourage you, if your family, peradventure your family, don't give you a listening ear or doesn't give you attention, definitely you had friends sequel to that condition. So you look for trusted friends, or religious leaders. Most often, religious leaders are in the best position, to assist or to give the required help that you need. All right, so reach out. Okay, so the next point, which is number 4, I said connect with like-minded people, to get group solutions. Sometimes just a little effort of going out of your comfort zone and reaching out to people who uh, may be experiencing the same thing, you know, can help you to get customized or group solutions. Same solutions, because of course you may not be the only one, as you know. Other people are experiencing same thing, and there are solutions that are being crafted out. So you could be a very there could be a timely help, and then you could be a beneficiary of such kind of help and assistance or required, necessary action to your restoration, getting you back to your feet. So connect with like-minded people, like I've said, to get, group solutions. Some things you may not be able to surmount on your own, but just by associating with a group, possibly the kind that share same perspectives, same values, and same beliefs, or possibly experiencing same things. You know, both can brainstorm or reach out to a professional or coaches who can give customized solutions based on the relevant challenge that is causing the stigmatization. So my next point I'd like to say, if you are not I like to say that you are not your illness. Yeah, that's what I mean to say. You are not your illness. So your illness is not you. So do not define yourself by your illness as other people might, because some people, like I said earlier, they will always like to identify, you with your illness. In fact, they have tagged you your illness. For instance, someone can say, that mentally disordered guy, that mentally disordered guy. There's a difference of saying that the mentally disordered guy or the guy with mental disorder. There's a difference. Mentally disordered guy, they have actually tagged you with the sickness. The sickness is now you. So that is highly uh, unacceptable. So there is a difference in joining you with the sickness or separating you with the sickness. All right. So what I'm saying is you are not your illness. So do not let anyone tag you. So instead of saying, instead of saying, even you yourself, instead of saying I am mentally disordered, you can say I have mental disorder, meaning that you as a personality, you have a challenge, you know, mental disorder is a challenge, but you cannot say I am mentally disordered, meaning you are joining yourself with the sickness and the sickness is you. So but we are saying that your illness is not you. All right, you are a separate entity. The illness is an antibody that you need to deal with. Of course, I understand. We understand this is bringing stigmatization. People are avoiding you. People are giving an arm distance from you. People deal with you from afar. They don't want to associate with you. Anything concerning you, no matter how good it looks or sound, they don't want to hear. They don't. It's not acceptable. Of course, societies like that. They don't know you. Probably before now, some people were very good beneficiaries of your kind gestures, but as it were, when life changes and you know there's a different tune. You see them, they abscond, they just stay from afar, watch you. And most people would not come around to help. They just want to stay aside and talk about your issue, judge you, say all manner of things. Some people even go as far as believing that, oh, karma is at work or something must have led to that you did that is bad, and so you deserve it. All manner of insinuation. So, what is my point? My point is you are not your sickness, you're not your illness, right? So do not allow anyone to tag you in that. So you yourself, you need to develop a positive uh, talk of yourself and about yourself. So my point here is language is power, all right? Language is power. You keep saying positive things, you see positive things. You keep saying negative things, definitely negative things are going to come your way. So what are we saying? Separate yourself from the illness. It is a fact that you are experiencing that, but the truth is that is conditional. That is just temporal. And if the right things are done, definitely you're going to overcome and get over with that, of course, and get reintegrated into society back as a normal human being. So do not, I repeat, do not tag yourself with the sickness. Always keep a positive confession. This may not be easy to do, but practically believe that um, without anyone, of course, with God Almighty, uh, all is going to be well and you're going to get back on your feet. Most times, some people die not because of the illness of the challenge they're passing through. It's just because they actually give up in their mind, before the sickness or whatever challenge had an edge over them. So you don't, as long as you don't give up in your mind, keep a positive conviction. I would advise that some of these confessions of language of talking to yourself, you may actually need to write them down, put them around your wall, surround your house, your environment with positive stuff, positive things, pictures of positive things, so you don't get some negative vibes, you know, because some people could even call you on the phone and just say some things that weigh you down. Make sure there are things around you, your devices, you have things that encourages you. Talk to your subconscious, you speak with your mouth, and as long as your heart keeps believing, I mean, there's hope, and you're going to be restored. So the last thing I want to talk about, the last point I want to talk about on how to deal with that, um, I said it's not personal. How do I mean by saying it's not personal? I'd like to remind you that remember that other people's judgment often come from a lack of understanding. all right, lack of understanding rather than anything else. So they see you, for instance, someone who doesn't know you or who just seen you with, for example, a mental disorder. The person obviously did not know you when you were normal or had your normal senses. Now they don't know who you are. And possibly it's not as if the condition is that bad. It's just that they have a perception about you, a wrong perception about you. So you don't need to take it to heart that they are seeing you for the first time or a couple of times and they are just saying that I mean you don't have to take it personal because actually they don't know you. All right, these judgments are just made before they get to know you personally. So I've been noticed that sometimes some people judge you from afar, but when they come close, really close, they discover, man, you are such a nice person. You 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 are you are you are intelligent. I mean, it's not the way they thought. You're thoughtful, you're compassionate, you're brilliant, you are resilient, you're hardworking. I mean, having to sing, when people come around you and stay for a while and get to know you better, they start appreciating your value. They start telling you, "Oh, really? I never thought you like this or like this. Like I had thought you." So when people judge you from afar, it's because they don't really know you. So you don't have to take, that personal or take it to heart, you know. Okay, so in conclusion, I would like to say, um, as a member of the society, all right, what should you do, you know, to counter or to help reduce or to help, you know, eradicate this issue of stigmatization? First things first, do not stigmatize others because of a temporal condition. Like I like to say, life is full of surprises. Hey, my friend, the person you are avoiding because of a plague in quote or a so-called ill condition may get well, just maybe now or often, or quite, quick, and then who knows? You may just be the next. So what do you expect? Oh, people should rally around you now because it's you. Now, the world doesn't revolve around you, right? What am I saying? Treat others exactly the way you would love to be treated, right? So, in solving this issue, in dealing with stigmatization or handling it, we all play a major role in the society as members or citizenry of any country or a community. Do not despise people or stigmatize them just because they have a temporal condition. So, what efforts have you made, in trying to restore this person back to their normal self, right? So, I'm just making a clarion call, you know, for everyone to put in their best whenever such conditions or situations come. If you're a family member and someone within your family has that kind of thing, that's not the first time to start calling people to broadcast, telling, oh, a member of my family has this, da, 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 da. You don't need to do that. Engage the person, look for viable solutions, that can help restore the person. First of all, within your means. And if it goes out of hand, of course, you look for external. There are professionals, there are mental health professionals, there are whatever health or challenge that is causing stigmatization. There are people who are professionals in that area, such area, and can render viable and timely help or rescue. So reach out for those rather than castigating, isolating, and allowing the person to die in silence or making them feel that they are worth nothing and they should die. I mean, so thank you very much everyone for listening. Please kindly leave your comments and share. I like to see your comments coming. I like to see your likes. I like to see uh, you follow my page for more content and for more discussion. Just in case you are interested in joining discussion, please you can indicate in the comment section. So I get to feature you in some of the upcoming episodes on different topics we'll be talking about. Remember, this webinar is brought to you by IK's Isaac Ibana Foundation. We are poised to bring you education, intimate you, and to also raise awareness against these social vices. We are originally poised to raise standards against trafficking in persons and hand over victims of such menace to handlers like NAPTIP and relevant stakeholders. Thank you very much. Until I come your way again next week, same time, same channel. I'll keep a date. And please, if you like the content and the quality of what you're hearing, please leave your comments. It could be a contribution, it could be questions, or it could be, you know, a more elaborate perspective on the subject matter. Thank you very much. Thank you. My name is Aiki Zibana. See you again next week. All right.